However, I did advise everybody to get into a straddle on Friday afternoon because the overall trend was to the upside. So it looks like the trend is so strong that the downward trajectory cards, when you have a really big, like a really strong trend in one direction, the cards of the opposite trend direction usually get kind of like, they're not usually canceled out completely, but they get dulled down. Whereas the cards with their energy going in the same direction as the overall trend, those are generally be bigger, more influential. And so obviously we've got a pretty strong upward trend here. Hopefully people followed along, got into a straddle, because if they got into a straddle, the short side really didn't matter that much. And that's why during Mercury retrograde, I'm very hesitant to be in just one direction. And when I am in one direction for a trade, it's going to be the direction, the overall trend direction that we have for Mercury retrograde. And for Mercury retrograde, if you've been following along, right, the middle portion based on the first portion of retrograde, the middle portion is supposed to be pretty bullish. Really followed me pretty solid. My green line that I drew, I moved this green. This was down here a little bit like this, but we already entered into it, and I'm thinking we entered so early. I moved this up to this range because there is some possibility that we go a bit higher. I don't foresee us breaking through the previous high, but we have a turnaround very, very soon. I'd be very mindful of that. And it shouldn't be, based on the trend, it shouldn't be straight up from here. It should really be kind of like sidewaysy back and forth, possibly with a high at the very end. I think if we're going to have a higher price level than we do now, it's most likely going to be in here around like the 27th, 26th, 27th, somewhere around there, 28th maybe. Hey, breathe easy. I'll get into Tesla in just a moment. We're trying a new kind of structure for the lives. I have SPY, Bitcoin, Theta Network, NVDA, and XRP on the roster, and then I'll get into the Tesla. So bear with me there, breathe easy, and welcome. Right, but I did expect a pretty big move to the downside. So what I advise is, people were really wondering about shorts and if they should cut shorts. That was for NVIDIA. I don't think you should cut shorts here. Hopefully you have your short, if you did options, your short is expiring out at the end of this coming, the following week here, past like the 30th or into the next month, because then you have some room to maneuver around. But you shouldn't be just short. You should be short and long, if anything. And you can either cut your loss on the short, or you could risk. Tomorrow we've got that death card, but the risk is that there's a really big move in the morning, and there looks to be a peak towards the end of the day. So overall, probably bullish, even with the death card here. But I would be probably both directions, and I don't trade the middle of Mercury retrograde. I learned not to. But for those of you that insist, I would want to be trading both directions at this point, with the short expiration on the short leg. I want that expiration to be out past the 11th of September. Actually, probably like past the 17th of September. This wouldn't be a bad place to open up a short for like a long-term short into that. But you also still want to have a long leg here just in case, because the real reversal doesn't take place, I think, until over here on the 28th. So both directions. With the with the short leg expiration more long term than the long leg. The long leg should be a shorter term expiration. But I mean, I'll be very surprised if there isn't a drop here overnight, because with that death card, and the fact that we didn't have, on the 1 month, we didn't have this failure kind of move. We had this more bullish move to the upside. Well, there's that death card at the end of the day too. That's really interesting. But this is the type of day you don't want to trade, a double nullified theme card day. You don't want to try and day trade. That's why I've been pretty quiet on the alerts today. Guys, do the channel a favor. If you like what you're seeing, do the channel a favor and share this with somebody you think it would help. Really help. It'll help the channel as well. Hey, Avila Spectrum. Is SPY dumping soon? I mean, to be frank, I thought it was going to gap down over the weekend. So I was definitely off today. I have my off days. But with that said, we probably have a move to the downside here at the end of the day. What makes me a little weary is this abundance card here and this correlation in the post market to the wealth card. It makes me think more bullish, but then on the other hand, we've got this double X ruin, which in a lot of cases indicates a significant low, and that's indicating something like that taking place the following day. But this abundance card in the morning again, abundance card at the end of the day makes me think that there's not, like, we have probably close to the same open as we did to the close. So it's kind of tricky here. I would be very, very careful. And again, make sure that if you're trading SPY with a short leg, you definitely want to have a long leg here too. Do not be only short in SPY. If you think there's a drop, be short SPY, but also hold a long position because the overall trend is still bullish. Hey, Robert. So if you're just joining us, guys, we just did SPY. We're going to get into Bitcoin, Theta Network, NVDA, XRP. And then I'm going to circle back to Breathe Easy's question for Tesla and any other questions and answers. Hopefully we've got, oh, wow. I'm going to have to do that later. The technical difficulties I had getting on took way longer than I thought. My gosh. Okay, so we're going to skip the Bitcoin, Theta Network, NVIDIA, XRP for today. We'll probably get Bitcoin done, but I want to do the question and the answers here because I have a meeting at 4:15. So Tesla. Yeah, so with Tesla, I have a pretty big move to the upside here. There was some price swinging. That's that Dominion card. And then we have a pretty significant reversal tomorrow. Yeah, I would want to be short Tesla at this point. I would want to be, just to be safe, because tomorrow might open, it might open higher. It's hard to say, kind of, this is a little odd the way that it's set up right now based on the chart, but I would want to be short and long right now just to be on the safe side, but I want to be short with the idea or the expectation that I'm going to exit that short position on the 27th. And I would probably just hold the long position because the following month looks significantly to the upside. The Tesla September readings coming out in a couple days. We fell a little bit behind because of back orders. But the Tesla September reading should be coming out in a couple days. If you've got early access on our website, then you'll be able to see the Tesla September reading tonight. Another way you can help support the channel, guys, if you like this live stream, I'm considering kind of discontinuing the live stream because it's a lot of work to do it every day. Cuts right into my middle of my workday. But I don't know. I'm considering it. I probably will keep doing it. But what I'd like to let everybody know is if you like this stuff, guys, a really great thing to do to help the channel is become a supporter. Get the $49.99 a month membership. Help support the channel. We don't do a lot of trading because of the amount of time it takes just to get this information is just crazy. But that's a really great way to support the channel. You get a star next to your name in the live feed, which gets you early access, or which gets you priority responses on the live streams. And when is that important? On a day like today when I have to be off by like 4:05. I've got like 15 minutes. Hey, it was luck. Hey, Round Earth. Does NVIDIA open lower or higher tomorrow? Thank you. It's really hard for me to say, guys. NVIDIA's giving me a hard time based on the readings tomorrow, based on the readings and what's transpired. We probably open lower with a big bullish day, but let me see. There's a pretty significant trade opportunity there on a multi-day scale tomorrow. So tomorrow might be the peak before a turnaround. Let's see. Let's see what the cards have to say about the open. We open significantly lower based on the Tower card. Yeah, we open significantly lower in NVIDIA tomorrow. And then there should be a pretty big, like a fast sudden move higher. In the midst of that fast sudden move higher, I would look to open up a short and close that short on the 21st towards the end of the day. If you miss that opportunity, there might be another opportunity on the 22nd or the 23rd. But on the 23rd, you want to be looking to get into a long position. Looks like a lot of ground is covered to the upside in the last week there. So we probably have a pretty significant drop overnight. That's what it looks like for NVIDIA. I didn't see that earlier today, but it does look like that. Let me see. That's how long that's how many times I've shuffled cards. I can do it in midair. It's kind of funny, I think. That's a lot of shuffling. Hey, Proof. Hey, Raymond. So it looks like we probably opened somewhere around this range right here. 120, what is that? 127.92-ish, so 128-ish. Somewhere around that we probably opened. So it's not that much of a drop unless we have this big move at the end of the day. It wouldn't be an awful place to open up a partial short. But tomorrow's probably a better bet. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. So it looks like, oh, this is SHIB, excuse me. Well, it looks like SHIB is coming in as expected. We're really close to that range. And I had to like my Bitcoin chart got reset. I apologize, guys. So if you're on Discord and you've got the Bitcoin channel, there'll be a new link in there for you. All right, guys. So if you don't have any of the Discord channels, the way that you would get in the Bitcoin channel is you go to our website, tarotfortraders.com, under order now, subscriptions, click here to order. It's the the all day, the all paid at monthly access, which is our mid-level price. However, that is the same price right now, I forgot to mention, as the total access. The total access is $500 off a month, guys. It's never been on sale like this before. This is probably gone by the end of retrograde. Not the influence like the shadow, but actual retrograde. So like it's probably gone by the 28th. I would highly recommend hopping on that. We've also got a promo code, $250 off when you spend $1,000. And that would get you access to all of the tickers that are covered, like Bitcoin, Tesla, Shibcoin, XRP, Google. Do I see NVIDIA making a new all-time high next week? Nice spike there into the close. I mean, I feel like there's a drop overnight, but then this abundance card really makes me think twice about it. Because at the end of the day here, and then first thing in the morning there, it's either like the rally continues or it's the same price level maybe. It's a really, really tricky kind of overnight thing. As far as NVIDIA, let's take a look. It's very likely that it does at the end of the month, but I think we've got a little bit of a. I think we have a little bit of a drop first. All-time highs, let's see. That would put it up here. $140.28-ish. Yeah, we've got all-time highs for NVIDIA next week. This is why I say you want to be long and short. Be very careful because we're getting close to a top. Like it's next week. We might see it again in September. Hard to say, but there's a sharp drop in early September. It looks like. You mentioned the awesome Discord channel that markets look bleak in 2025. Do you see that reversal happening in Q1? And how will bearish market impact cryptocurrency? I have to do the 2025 S&P. I don't think I've done that yet. This is all stuff that's going to get done in October. A little behind, but that's when the plan is. Let me see here. Yeah, I haven't done the markup on that, so I'm not really going to talk about that right now until I've done it, which will be relatively soon. And the soonest you'll be able to see that S&P 500 2025 is if you've got early access on our website, which, matter of factly, right now you can't even order on the website, but come the 28th, you'll be able to order it on the website. If you have it, you don't want to get rid of it because you won't be able to order it until we put it up again. Am I waiting on a sharp drop for Bitcoin and Shiba this week? Not really. Well, on the 23rd there might be a sharp drop, but that's probably off of like a notable peak. And we do have a low here on the 21st, 22nd, and then a low here on the 27th. But based on like what's transpiring, these are so close based on everything that's gone on this month. It might not come in at an actual low. It'll just come in somewhere close to it. Let's see. So we probably come in around here. And if you're new to the channel, these ellipses, ready ellipse indicates where I think there'll be like a trough or a low will form. And when there's another one inside of it, that darker area is the most likely range of where the reversal will take place, but it might come all the way down here. I wish I had my old charts, but it didn't. For whatever reason, Mercury retrograde wanted to take them away. And then it might be the same low. Oh, that's September. I'm like, why is it all the way out there? And then we should have this pretty notable move higher there afterwards. Or not. Maybe not. Hard to say. It's a little unclear today. Today's a very staticky day, it appears. And then shitcoin, it's not really a sharp drop at this point. I'm expecting a trough or a low over here. It might come down there like this did, but more likely it's gonna come down to within this little range here. Um, I think what you're asking is Bitcoin's last lowest dip before it begins a turnaround into a bull market. You're asking if its last lower dip is between now and the end of next week. Probably. I think we'll probably revisit it one more time in September. But whatever that price range ends up, whatever this price range ends up being here around the 27-20. Wow, this is over too far. Around the 27th, 28th. whatever that range ends up being, we most likely revisit it in September one more time. I wouldn't necessarily say the bull starts in September, but the bottom is in September. The bottom is, it looks like very clearly like the bottom is in September. I don't know if the bull market starts right away because we do have a sharp drop here in October. But we might have a high here between October and November. It's very possible, like a year's high. If you take out this chunk right here, not much of a range. Well, I guess 20K is kind of a range, or it's not even though. It's like 15K, not even. All right, my friends, with that said, thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you like this stuff, guys, you want to keep the channel rolling, please be one of the supporters. Much appreciation and love goes out to you guys out there supporting us. You get the supporter star next to your name on the chat by going to join and clicking on supporter. You can also become premium supporter. There's not really any difference. It's just you're supporting with more money, but it's $50 a month. Gets you a star next to your name, as well as priority response on these lives. And we're getting up into like the 30s as far as viewers on these things. So limited amount of time, that's going to become more and more important. Much love and appreciation. Blessings to all my... Oh, guys, couple special offers. Matter of fact, I'll save those for tomorrow. The best offer of all of them is that $500 a month off. That's for the lifetime of the subscription, disappearing by the end of the month. It's the same price as the mid-level subscription right now, guys. Oh, yeah. And then one more thing, guys, just before I roll. So right now we have the alerts, which we launched right before retrograde. And I had the feeling that we were going to make changes to the alerts. So right now we've got the alerts highly that are, you can just order just the alerts if you want. We're most likely going to bundle the alerts with the more pricier packages as part of those packages, because the amount of work that it takes for the alerts, it's the same work that goes into those packages. So if you've got the singular alerts right now, you're good to go. If you don't, and you're thinking about getting the alerts and you don't want to get a whole package, you want to do that before retrograde, because we're going to make that change most likely at the end of retrograde. That'll mean that like minimum for the alerts will be $300 a month, guys. So blessings, much appreciation and love goes out to you. I will see you guys on the next one.